Have it. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest it's not your latest Manchester United news. It's the preview for the West Ham game. That's a bad start already. But let's get into it. I hope I'm live. I could be live on Twitch. It's whether I can be asked to change the stream key. We're live on YouTube. Well done. Great stuff. I really feel that this is a Friday night show. If you know anything about the United Stand, the Friday night show is very different. And effectively, it could be a brilliant show. It could be a crap show. We'll find out. But it's going to be a different show because that's what Friday night shows are all about. Lots to talk about. We will preview the West Ham game. We've got comments from Delo about Ronaldo. We've got comments from Anthony about Scholes and Savage and everybody else. We've got loads of stuff to get into. And I'm looking forward to it. People are already talking about whether Lindelof should start over Maguire. We'll see about that. But I'm wearing a T-shirt in October. What's that all about? I'll tell you what it's all about. I'll tell you what it's all about straight now. We're sponsored by True Classic. Let's be honest, finding that perfect fitting shirt can be really hard work. And I can tell you from personal experience that not all T-shirts are the same. They don't all fit the same. And this is where True Classic comes in. True Classic wants to make every man look and feel great. They've designed their shirts with a tighter fit on the chest and sleeves to make you feel more comfortable. All of their styles are super soft and at a great price for what you're getting. So guys, this is a no-brainer. Get rid of those ratty T-shirts. You know the ones. You put a T-shirt on and it fits like crap. The arms are like bloody cardboard. They're sticking out like bloody aeroplane wings. And True Classic is more than just a T-shirt company. They have all the menswear staples you could need. They've got polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit, plus boxer briefs designed to keep your boys feeling nice and comfortable. They make it super easy to build out your wardrobe and you'll get top-notch quality for a great value. So True Classic have given us an exclusive deal. That's what we secure for you on the United Stand. So all you've got to do to get 25% off is use the code GOALBRIDGE at trueclassic.com. True Classic also include free shipping on any purchase over $100, and of course they've got a 30-day return policy. Thanks very much to True Classic for sponsoring Watch Along. Well, it's not a Watch Along. They've got that wrong. It's not a Watch Along, True Classic. If you thought you were getting a Watch Along, you've been shortchanged. You ain't got a Watch Along. You've got a Friday night show. Unlucky. But no, seriously, True Classic, fantastic T-shirts. Goldbridge is the code, 25% off and delivered to your door as per usual. Big shout out to True Classic. And you know what? I do like wearing a T-shirt, but I don't like T-shirts that are not good fitting, and True Classic T-shirts are. So give them a shout. Give them a try. You can scan the QR code over there, which will reveal the full team in a minute, or you can go through the link in the description. Big shout out to True Classic. You know what? I think True Classic have landed on their feet. I really do. I think sponsoring a Friday night show means you're a goat. Because the Friday night show is the GOAT show. It normally means I've been down the pub, basically. And, you know, Goldbridge always says what he thinks anyway. But he really says what he thinks when he's been down the pub. So it's going to be a cracking show tonight. Big shout out to True Classic. Right, let's get into the show. Big shout out to True Classic. They're probably thinking, oh my God, have we done the right thing? People will buy them. Don't worry. Check it out. Link in the description. Right, let's get on with the show. Big shout out to Robbie Savage as well. I bantered him on Twitter and he actually DM'd me and said, smiley face. Don't know whether that's a good thing. But if you check my Twitter, I did banter Robbie Savage. Because he's on Twitter. Scholes isn't. So I can't banter Scholesy. And he probably would have took it seriously. So big shout out to Robbie Savage. He actually took the joke. If you know, you know. It's on my Twitter. He did respond with a laughing face. So well done to him. And his son Charlie is really want him to make it at Man United. Lovely guy. Anyway, on with the show. Enough about all that. So look, Manchester United are playing West Ham at the weekend. Lots to talk about, I suppose. Well, no, there is a lot to talk about ahead of this game. It's a Friday night show. Don't start complaining, because I won't read them anyway. Don't start complaining about, Goldbridge was all over the place on Friday night. Friday night's my show. I always say Friday night show is different to any other show. It doesn't have to be. It's never professional, but it's relaxed. Chill out. We're only here once. I was in the pub tonight and Free to Be Whatever I by Oasis came on. I felt really sad. I remembered listening to that when I was 17. And I thought, I'm not 17 anymore. Why do I have to get old? So just enjoy it. We're only here once. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So let's get on with the show. Manchester United are playing West Ham at the weekend. Very Liquid FC. bloody sucking on their bubbles. And yeah, we're playing West Ham at the weekend. So look, I will do this bit seriously. That's the lineup I think he will pick on Sunday. If you were in a 5v5 bar fight, which 4 players from our current squad would you like? Oh, can't do that, Zion. I'll come back to that. I will remember it. Remind me about that. Definitely Martinez for a start. Harry Maguire's big, but he'd miss. Yeah, and Scott McTominay's big, but he'd just run away because he doesn't want the ball. So, yeah, I want people who want to get on the ball. And anyway, you've drawn me in. So Manchester United are playing West Ham on Sunday. Must-win game. West Ham are quite an interesting team. I don't know whether you've clocked this, but West Ham this season, away from home, this is going to blow your mind if you're a geek. If you're a football geek, you're going to be sat there tonight on a Friday night going, oh my God, can you believe what Goldbridge said on the show? Get out and have a pint. What are you bloody knocking one out about bloody stats on a Friday night for? So, anyway, what have I just said? West Ham away record. Won 1, drawn 1, lost 4. It gets better than this. That's not the thing to get excited about. West Ham's away record this season. Won 1, drawn 1. Look, I can't believe what I just said. Won 1, drawn 1. You don't get this on mainstream media. Won 1, drawn 1, lost 4, yeah? So they've won 1, drawn 1, lost 4, right? Amazing. The next bit, I can't even read it. Yeah, okay, this is it. You won't believe this. I can't believe this. This is brilliant. So they've won 1, lost 1. No, they've won 1, drawn 1, lost 4. Away record for West Ham. Won 1, drawn 1, lost 4. You know now. They've only conceded 6 goals. How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you lose 4 away goals? In 6 games, how do you lose 4 away games by only conceding 6 goals? Well, obviously you lose a couple 1-0, don't you? But what it means is that West Ham do not concede many goals. They don't concede many goals. But they bloody don't score many either, because in 6 away games they've only scored 3 goals. So we're playing, we're basically playing Scooby-Doo, David Moyes. We're playing David Moyes. He's a Poundland wish, Jose Mourinho. That's what he is. I mean, how did we go from Moyes to fucking Mourinho? What's this? We're Manchester United. Gary, come on. You can come on. Gary, what have we been doing for 10 years? David Moyes and Mourinho have been appointed as Man United managers. What's going on? We're Manchester United. But yeah, so basically, West Ham have played 6 away games. They've lost 4 of them. They've only conceded 6 goals, but they've only scored 3. So you know what's going to happen on Sunday. They're going to be as tight as a gnat's arse. And a gnat is basically an ant, I think. It's a small insect. They are going to be tight. But if we score, they're screwed, basically. It just hits different with Ollie. I felt any success the team had was in spite of him. With Ten Hag, it feels like it's because of him, says the veteran trainer. Yeah, get the super chats in. You might be the only sense you get tonight. So, I think with the West Ham game, before we even start, I played the game. I look at Anthony. I've played the game. I look at Anthony. And I think, me and Roy, if Anthony's doing that pirouette, ring-a-ring-a roses, I'm taking him and Roy. Me and Roy, we've played the game. We're taking Anthony around the back of the bike sheds and we're giving him a good kick in. Where's Paul Pogba in this? I've played the game. Where's Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay? He's Scottish. Why is he not taking Anthony around the back of the bicycle sheds and giving him a good kick in? I've played the game. What's this ring-a-ring-a-roses stuff? I'm with you, Simon. Ring-a-ring-a-roses. Gets the ball, ring-a-ring-a-roses, we all fall down. You'll be falling down from me. I've played the game. I'm telling you, Roy, I've played the game. I'll knock him out for that. I've played the game. Where am I going? So, back to the show. Manchester United are playing West Ham at the weekend. And just in response to that, Gary Neville, Graham Souness, Ray Parlour. Ray Parlour, Ray Parlour looks like Ian Beale with a perm. What's he all about? What's he on about? Bloody Ray Parlour. You bloody Poundland Paul Merson. Anyway, in every sense. I'm not a big fan of Ray Parlour. He gobbed off about fan channels. Swivel on it, Ian Beale with a perm. So Anthony responded to all these people who've had a pop at him. And basically, you're getting this for free, you know. I told you, it's either going to be a terrible show or absolutely brilliant. I don't know. So Anthony's responded to the critics. I love this. He basically says that we're known for our art. I'm not going to stop doing what got me here. Have it. Have them both. Have them both. Have both guns. Have them. We're known for our art. And I'm not going to stop doing what got me here in the first place. Swivel on it. Have it. Love it. Pep Guardiola called me the other day. He said, when's got... What? Oh, Mike, come on. You're being like a bloody... You're on play school. Who would win in a fight? You or Gary Neville, says Charlie. Oh, Gary Neville gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and he probably does loads of gym work. And, you know... I mean, Gary Neville ended up being one of England's best ever right backs. I don't think I'd beat him in a boxing match. He'd probably, if we had a boxing match and we gave each other 3 months' notice, I'd be here every Friday night after down the pub, and he'd be bloody up with Phil at 2 o'clock in the morning, punching bags. You know, Gary's very motivated. He's a very motivated individual. You can't knock him for that. Anyway, let's talk about the starting 11 against West Ham. Let's try and at least keep some semblance of credibility here. So look, the starting 11, I need to just give me some water. Ian Beale with a perm. That wasn't even scripted. Ian Beale with a perm. Fucking hell. That's great. That's good. That is good. Ian Beale with a perm. Ray Parlour. He'll die if he ever hears that. Ian Beale with a perm. Mic drop. So let's come back to Manchester United against West Ham. So Manchester United are playing West Ham on Sunday. We've got to win. We've got to get the team right. So De Gea in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony. That's my predicted 11 that I think Ten Hag will pick. I don't know whether I would pick that, but that's the team I think Ten Hag will pick, and that's the team I've got on my left there. The contentious areas are Garnacho and Maguire, I suppose. I don't think you can argue about the fullbacks. Martinez, Dalot, Anthony, Bruno, the midfield. I think Rashford has to start. So I think the two most contentious areas are Garnacho and Maguire. Let's start off with Garnacho. I mean, the only way I wouldn't start Garnacho is no Bowen apparently for Max Payne. Well, we'll talk about West Ham briefly in a minute. Get your fairy liquid out. I think with Garnacho, the only way he doesn't start for me is if we do one of two things. First of all, Rashford plays off the left and Ronaldo goes down the middle. I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. I was doing my Twitch stream this afternoon, and loads of people were saying they'd play Rashford off the left, Ronaldo down the middle, and Anthony. Monroe, welcome to the Members Club. I ain't got a problem with Ronaldo, Rashford, and Anthony as a front three, because I think Rashford off the left is our best left winger. I really do at the moment. I think he's the most in-form, best player. And there seems to be a bit of a relationship build with Ronaldo and Rashford that wasn't there last year. So I like that. I mean, to be honest, logically, if I was Ten Hag, I think I would go Rashford, Ronaldo and Anthony. Because keep Ronaldo happy. Why, I'm not saying don't stick Ronaldo on the bench. I just think everybody's feeling a bit positive. Keep Ronaldo in the team. Keep Rashford off the left. Just do that. That might be one reason Garnacho doesn't start. I think the worst case scenario is Garnacho doesn't start, Rashford starts off the middle and Sancho starts off the left. That to me would be a travesty. Because Garnacho has proven that he's better than Sancho at the moment on form. He showed that on Thursday night. There is no Europa League team or Premier League team. So I think for me, look, I'm not going to sit on the fence. I don't sit on the fence. My starting lineup if it was my team, I would probably start Ronaldo up front, Rashford off the left, and Anthony. That's what I would do, if you want to know. I think Ten Hag's going to go with that. I think he'll start Rashford through the middle with Ronaldo on the bench, because if you start Ronaldo and Rashford, you don't have a striker on the bench. So I think he'll start Rashford and Ronaldo with Ronaldo on the bench. But that means you've got to start Garnacho. There is no logic and there is no sense to starting Sancho over Garnacho. So I think that Garnacho will start. Love a tipsy Goldbridge on a Friday. Wish that pineapple salad would turn up now, though. Says, and Mark, please do the Anthony spin. Jack, I did do the Anthony spin on FIFA this afternoon, and we scored a goal. If I did the Anthony spin right now, I'd fall over. So, yeah. How glasses of water did you have before you started the show, Mark? Says Glenn. No, water's for wimps and people who are thirsty. Who need, if you want to hydrate, water's the best way. The vibes tonight is absolutely incredible, Mark, says Fennec. Yeah, they are. Friday night show's different. Friday night show is different. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. And now I'm going to come to the most contentious issue. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire at centre-back. Now, I don't want to be slabhead, bag of cement stuff. I'm not interested in that. My honest opinion is that I want every United player to play well. And if we've got competition for places, that's great. And Varane's injured. Look, I'm sorry, Varane and Martinez compared to Martinez and Maguire is basically like having, you know, something really good with something that's not as good. And I know I'm better than that, but I'm struggling. I can't think of something that's not chocolate mousse and shit, which I used with Ollie. But it is, you know, Varane and Martinez is a combination. It's like Lennon and McCartney, and Martinez and Maguire is like, I don't know, Robson and Jerome or Jedward. It's not the same. It's not the same. And if Varane's fit, he's got to come straight back into that team with Martinez. But Varane is not fit. And I feel really bad for Victor Lindelof. I've got to be honest. I feel really bad for Victor Lindelof because I'm picking Maguire. And people are gonna be like, oh my God, Goldbridge is picking Maguire. Oh my God, what's happened to him? He must be drunk. No, I've said this all week. If Lindelof starts on Sunday with Martinez, I will gift 100 memberships to you lot on the watch along. When that team news drops at 3:30, if Lindelof starts over Maguire, 100 memberships straight away. That's about 500 quid. So I will do it because I absolutely know that Maguire's going to start. And I agree with it. And it pains me to do it, not because I don't like Harry. I want Harry to do really well. But my issue with it is that he should not start. It's not fair. It's not fair, but it makes sense. And Robert McCormack, if he's watching tonight, will be there clapping. He'll be clapping, going, Goldbridge is talking sense. And we never agree. But Lindelof, we went to Everton, Goodison Park, and Varane didn't play. I think Everton away gets forgotten. I think Everton away is one of our best performances of the season. I think Everton away is our best away performance. I think it's better than Chelsea because Chelsea was for 35 minutes. I think Everton away was a really good performance and Lindelof played with Martinez. I think Lindelof hasn't put a foot wrong. And I'm not always Lindelof's biggest fan, but he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been he's not even been average. He's been absolutely on it. He's not as good as Martinez and Varane, but he's been on it. He doesn't deserve to lose his spot on Sunday. He really doesn't deserve to lose it. And I'm 100% with everybody who is sort of saying, you know, Lindelof should start. But West Ham are a big side. And West Ham will have Scamacca or Antonio up front. And I think Maguire will start because he's big and good in the air. And that's what it's all about. And to be honest, I agree with it. If I'm the manager, I'm going to pick Maguire because aerially, if a cross comes in from a corner, West Ham aren't going to whip crosses in out wide. It's going to be set pieces. If a cross comes in and Antonio or Scamacca beats Lindelof in the air, I'm going to be going, I could have picked Maguire. So on form, it should be Lindelof and Martinez. But because of the threat that West Ham pose, you've got to pick Maguire, and I think he will do. Have you seen Sam Allardyce's comments about Maguire? He says, our current defenders are not better than him, and he references only the Man City game, says SK. Sam Allardyce is one of the most jammiest managers I've ever known. He belongs to the Jurassic Park era of football. His football is shite. It's boring. It's long ball. How he got the England job reflects on the FA. And if he thinks Maguire's our best centre-back, he belongs in the Jurassic Park era with Pterosaurus Rex, Triceratops and pterodactyls. That's where he belongs, because you're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an absolute fool. If you think Maguire's better than Varane and Martinez, then football's not for you. Hoofball is. Mark, how long has it been since we have seen United players so comfortable on the pitch, be it a small team or a big team? English press and pundits are all salty. We're doing good, says Lima. And hi, Mark, where can I buy the Eric Ten Hag Breaking Bad hoodie? Just type in Shopify United Stand and you'll find it. Thank you very much for the super chat, Neil Hull. So, look, I'll always say what I say because I think that's the most important thing to say. But I think he will pick Maguire on Sunday because of height. But I absolutely agree that Lindelof should start. Does that make sense? Doesn't really make sense, but look, I'm preparing myself for Maguire to start, and I understand why, but Lindelof deserves to start, if that makes any sense. So, there we go. And that's how I think we'll line up on Sunday. Hi, pal, back at work, miss Twitch, support you always, says Zenevo. Well, you don't on Twitch, you lying little shit. You're always bloody sticking the knife in on Twitch, Zenevo, but you're welcome. And how do I think the game will play out? So, West Ham don't score many, don't concede many. They're very counter-attack. Moyes shits himself against Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs. Moyes absolutely bottles it when he plays a big team. No matter how good they're doing, he bottles it. He'll park the bus and try and hit on the break. This could easily be a 0-0. Easily. Wouldn't surprise me if it was. And I think this game on Sunday is going to go one of two ways. We're either going to do the roller coaster. We're going to do the Ronan Keating, life's a roller coaster. We're either going to go drop after good results and 0-0, disappointing, or we're going to hit the high and we'll beat them 2 or 3-0. I think we'll beat them 2 or 3-0. I do. I think we'll beat them. I think there's a confidence, there's a progression, there's a growth. I think we'll win on Sunday. But I would keep it back in your mind that we could draw this game. West Ham are better than Sheriff. They'll be more organised than Sheriff. And I still don't think we're totally comfortable against the low block. And if I'm absolutely honest, whether it's Lindelof or Maguire, that defence is not strong. It's not as strong as it is with Varane in it. You know, there's a vulnerability to our defence. When I watch United with Martinez and Varane, I'm confident. When I watch United with Martinez and Lindelof or Martinez or Maguire, I think we're gettable. So we've got to be a little bit careful of that as well. I mean, we've got a massive week ahead of us, West Ham and Sociedad, and we could win both of them comfortably. We could draw both of them. We could lose both of them. So I think we'll win, but I think Ten Hag, as I said in the press conference this afternoon, is spot on. We're a work in progress and it takes time. I don't think we're there yet, and I do think we will have some bad results. I'm just hoping. I think we'll win on Sunday. Wish United would buy more players like Chicharito, who showed great passion. Would love us to get Verga, says Daniel Rubio. And love from Australia, Mark. It's 3 a.m, says Speedy. We've got to pump it up then. If you're watching at 3 a.m, we've better pump it up. So yeah, I'll go with a Man United win. I'll go with a 3-0, and let's hope that we deliver on that. I just want to add a bit of balance to the force. I know I've said I'd pick Maguire, and I think Ten Hag will. Lindelof deserves to start, but I think he'll just do it for height, and I think Harry's very lucky that he's big, because Lindelof does deserve to start over Maguire. It's just a height thing. What I do want to talk about, and I've seen loads of people talking about this, and I think it belongs on a Friday night show, is the captaincy. Where do you think the captaincy belongs? I have a real problem. And I don't care about this. I don't care. It's an opinion. It doesn't have to be right. It's a pure opinion. I have a real problem with a guy walking on the pitch at half-time and taking the captain's armband from a guy who's took us on an amazing run since Brentford. Maguire got dropped after Brentford. We beat Leicester. We beat Southampton. We beat Liverpool. We beat Arsenal. We lost to Man City. We beat Everton. We drew with Newcastle. We beat Tottenham and we drew with Chelsea. That's a very good run of fixtures, and Maguire wasn't part of it. Bruno was the captain. I have a real problem, and it's nothing to do with Maguire. I've got no issue with Maguire. I'd start Maguire on Sunday. I have a real issue with him taking the captaincy. I do. I'm sorry, I do. Not to the extent that it keeps me awake at night. Not to the extent that, you know, I do want to be respectful of the fact that, you know, Maguire wants to be captain. I understand that. But I have a real problem with it. I think it makes zero sense. At the highest level of football, to be making decisions about, oh, let's just leave it. I disagree with it. This is Manchester United. This is high-end football. It makes no sense to me that the captaincy is taken off Bruno Fernandes when the team has done so well with him as the captain. I think it's amateur hour again. I think Man United need to move on from this. There's almost a fear to make big decisions. I would start Harry Maguire on Sunday, but I wouldn't give him the captaincy. I don't think he should be the captain. I think it's wrong. I think it's out of order. I think it's weak. I think it's silly. I think it's childish. I think it's naive. I don't get it. I don't know why we're doing it. I don't think other big clubs would do this. Bruno has been the captain and we've won loads of games and the team has had a great camaraderie that we haven't seen for years. We're now going to bring Maguire back into the team and give him the captaincy. We're getting a guy to lead the team who hasn't been part of the team that's won all these games. It makes no sense. It's weird. It's wrong. And it might not make a difference at all. And I might just be in a minority. Or I might be in a majority. But it makes no sense to me that a guy who's been booted out the team for not being good enough gets his second chance but then leads the team. Imagine this, right? I'm at work, I get my knob out or do something really crude and I get suspended, right? And three months later I come back and I'm the team leader again. It makes no sense. Now Harry Maguire hasn't done that, but what I'm saying is, if you're the captain and you get dropped because you're not good enough, when you get your second chance, you don't come in being the leader again. You have to stop. You have to earn that trust back. That's the issue I have with it. I don't get this whole give me the captain's armband. I want it. I don't get that. I don't get it. I think it's a bit odd. And also, Martinez is a leader. Casemiro is a leader. Eriksen is a leader. Maguire's not a leader. I don't think he's a captain. I think it's a fake thing. He's not a captain. I'm sorry. He doesn't captain England. He's not won anything. I mean, his first big job was Manchester United. I don't think he should be the captain. I think Maguire should start on Sunday and focus on his own game. I think it's unfair to Maguire, actually. I think that here's a guy whose confidence is on the floor, who's been battered from pillar to post, mainly because of his England performances, not United fans, to be fair. And yet he comes back into the team as the captain. So not only has he got all these eyes on him, are you any good? But also you're the captain again now. What if we blow it and he makes a mistake? Everyone's going to be on him again. I just don't think the captaincy... I don't know what's going on at Manchester United. I don't know whether Ten Hag agrees with it. Maybe it's not even that deep. But I just absolutely have to agree with people who say, why when he comes on the pitch does he take the captaincy? This team without him has won and played well. Without him. How can you bring him back into the team and him go, I'm the leader now? It makes no sense. Imagine this, right? You are on a boat and you're losing the race and the captain gets sick and goes into his little bunker. And while he's throwing up and sick for 2 weeks, everyone else comes together, does really well, and you start winning the race. And then he goes, I'm feeling better now, I'm the captain again. It makes no sense. The team has prospered without you in it. The team has done well without you in it. You get your chance and you're the captain again. I don't get that. And it's got absolutely nothing with wanting Maguire to do well, because I do. And I would start Maguire on Sunday, and most of you would start Lindelof. 90% of you last night. I would start Maguire on Sunday. I know I'm in the minority, but I do worry about the height thing. So I would start him on Sunday. I'm in the minority, I know that. But the captaincy's a joke. That's a joke. He should not be the captain. I don't get that. I don't agree with that. And I don't think that a guy should come in and take the captaincy back when the team's done so well without you. I think the captaincy is unfortunately one concession that Erik Ten Hag might have to been asked to make by the Glazers and management because he's an £80 million player, Nihal. It does feel like a bigger decision. It feels like a brand decision. It feels like we don't want to take the captaincy off a player because it could be perceived as negative. When actually, I don't think TeamViewer, Adidas, or anybody gives a shit whether Maguire's the captain or not. In fact, I think TeamViewer and Adidas would rather Ronaldo was the captain. So I just think it's a weird decision. But, you know. Anyway, let's move on from that. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, did you see what Dalot said? I thought this was really interesting. So Dalot basically said, we're a better team with Ronaldo. We're a better team with Ronaldo in it. I love Dalot. I think Dalot has said many, many interesting things this season already. I loved what Dalot said about we want to be the players that take Man United back to the top. Legacy. But I found it interesting that Dalot said, and this was after last night's game, he basically said that we're a better team with Ronaldo in it. And I've said this before. There are players, I don't want to disclose sort of conversations, but as much as people hate this, and they will hate this, unfortunately, players, family members of players, friends of players do speak to you. It's just the way it is. And they will speak to other people as well. And some people are very vocal about that, probably because they want the credibility and people to watch their channel. I don't really speak about it very often because obviously it's said in confidence and I won't disclose that. But in the real world, if you want to know the truth, players are human and they do speak to people, and whether they should or they shouldn't. And friends of those people definitely speak to people, and family members of those players definitely 100% speak to people, whether it's journalists, fan channels or whatever. I've said to you this before. In that Manchester United dressing room over the last year, Dalot loves Bruno. Sorry, he does love Bruno. Dalot loves Ronaldo. Bruno loves Ronaldo. Garnacho loves Ronaldo. Alanka loves Ronaldo. Casemiro loves Ronaldo. Varane loves Ronaldo. De Gea loves Ronaldo. Lindelof loves Ronaldo. There are other people, but I'm just saying there's 8 people straight away who absolutely love Ronaldo. So when Dalot comes out and says we're a better team with Ronaldo in it, it shouldn't be a surprise. Dalot loves Ronaldo. Like, he's an icon to Dalot. So it's interesting, isn't it, that I think people try and write this story that players might turn on Ronaldo, and it's like, it's just never been the case. I think there are certain people in that dressing room last season who tried to turn people against Ronaldo, and we know how divided and leaky the dressing room was last year. But there's always been certain players that love Ronaldo, and they still do. And I think more people do now. I think that dressing room's more united than it's ever been, which is why we're good on the pitch. But the question is, do you think United are a better team with Dalot in it? I do. Yeah, I do. But do you think the United are a better team with Ronaldo in it? Maguire's only 2 inches taller than Lindelof, says Luke. Yeah, but he's a lot better in the air. He's a lot better in the air. Lindelof, look, Maguire may be many things. He may turn like a tractor. He may be slow. But he is good in the air. Like, I'll argue this with anybody. And look, I've got no reason to protect Maguire. But he is good in the air. He's crap at headers, but he's world class at winning them. Like, I can't believe how many corners he wins. He just can't direct it. He is unbelievable at winning balls in the air. He is good at it. Harry's height might make a difference if only he would be a bit aggressive. Mark the other team's best header and stop trying to be the spare man, says Glenn. But do I agree with Dalot that United are a better team with Ronaldo in it? Well, I'm not in the dressing room. I'm not on the pitch. And I think that's what Dalot's talking about. I think when you've got Ronaldo in your team on the pitch, you feel like you're a better team. You've got Ronaldo. And you can't compare yourself to that. As fans, we've all got an opinion, but we're not starting for Man United. And if Dalot says he feels better with Ronaldo in the team, then who are we to say he's wrong? And I suppose that's like playing anything. If you're playing FIFA, if you're playing wrestling, if you're playing go-karting and you've got somebody in your team that makes you feel better, we all know what that feels like. Are we a better team with Ronaldo in it? And I think that's a really interesting point. I've heard ex-players of United say that United aren't a better team with Ronaldo in it. I've seen ex-players saying we are. I think it's a good question because it's not about whether Ronaldo stormed off. It's not about whether Ronaldo starts in the Europa League or whether he starts on Sunday. Are Manchester United a better team with Ronaldo in it? Let's do a poll. Does Harry's aerial ability make up for what we lose with Lindelof, says Sean O'Rourke. Look, most of you would start Lindelof. I get it. I'm doing a poll here. Could take me an hour to write this. Are we a better team with Ronaldo in it? Question mark. Tongue comes out when I'm thinking. Are we a better team with Ronaldo in it? Yes, we are. In my opinion. And my opinion means nothing. You can shit on it. You can agree with it. I've never said my opinion's better than yours. The whole point of the United stand is that my opinion is there to make you think. It's like opal fruits or Starburst or whatever they're called now. Opal fruits made to make your mouth water. United stand made to make you think about things. I'm not there to be right. I'm there to make you think. And sometimes me being wrong will generate you thinking a different opinion. I still think United are a better team with Ronaldo in it. And the simple reason I think that is not because I think Ronaldo should be sold. I think Ronaldo should be sold. I think he wants to go and I think we should sell him. But I still think we're a better team with him in it. And the reason for that is because I still think, and I saw it last night, we need to put more crosses into the box. We need to mix it up. And I think with Rashford as a number 9, who's not a number 9, we're very one-dimensional. We're looking for that ball in behind because that's what Rashford loves. And I think if you've got Ronaldo up front and he actually occupies the penalty box, you've got more to you. So I think it's marginal, but I still think we're better with Ronaldo in it. The big kicker is, if Martial was fit, would I think Ronaldo's the best? We're better off with Ronaldo. Because we don't have Martial, I would rather play Ronaldo over Rashford and keep Rashford off the left. So yeah, I do. That's what I think. But some people might disagree with that. Can I just say this? And I will say it anyway. Some people were getting their kicks today out of this story. David De Gea has not been picked in the 55-man preliminary squad for Spain for the World Cup. And they've picked 5 goalkeepers. So, David De Gea has not been picked in the Spain preliminary squad of 55 players for the World Cup with 5 goalkeepers. And some people have jumped on this and said it's time to get rid of De Gea. Go and take your face for a shit. Go on. Go to the toilet, stick your mouth over it and shit it out. I don't care. I do not care. That decision is Luis Enrique's. It's not mine. It's not yours. David De Gea this season and last season has been on it for United and he's getting better under Ten Hag. Luis Enrique is a good coach, but he is a stubborn coach. He doesn't want to pick De Gea. He'd pick me in goal for Spain over De Gea. That's got nothing to do with what's going on at Manchester United. And get ready for this, because I'm going to give you the antidote here. Oh, De Gea, he's not been picked in a 55-man squad for Spain. It must be shit. Chris Smalling should be in the England squad. Will never get a look in because Southgate says no. Chris Smalling. We never should have bought Maguire. Smalling's better than Maguire. I'm not drunk. Smalling is better than Maguire. We sold Smalling for like 15 million and spent 80 million quid on Harry Maguire. There is no difference between the two. I think Smalling's better than Maguire. I think they're very close, but I think Smalling's better than Maguire. He will never get in the England squad. If Southgate picked a squad of 100, he would never put Smalling in it. And yet you've got a centre-back there who's won things for Manchester United, is playing for Jose Mourinho at centre-back. We're talking about centre-back here. Sir Alex picked him and Mourinho picked him. And Southgate doesn't. Oh, shit. He must be shit. He must be absolutely shit. His first choice for Mourinho, Sir Alex picked him, but Southgate won't. Oh, fucking hell, he must be rubbish. Shut up and get out. I couldn't give a toss about David De Gea being in a 55-man squad for Spain, because I guarantee you Chris Smalling's not in a 100-man squad for Southgate, and yet Sir Alex picked him and Mourinho picked him. I tell you what, Mourinho and Sir Alex to Southgate, we're back again. It's like steak and chips to a bowl of shit. That's what it's like. And Mourinho's the steak, and Sir Alex Ferguson is the chips, very good chips, and Southgate's the turd. So I don't give a toss. I give a toss about Man United. What do you think about... I've just been asked the question, Banshantano. We're a better team on paper, says somebody here. Wait a minute. I'll get this. We are a better team on paper and how we want to play with Ronaldo, but we're a worse team because we can't cater for him, says Nick P. Yeah, look, I just want to make it very, very clear that... And look, Ivan Toney's another one. I want to make it very clear. I would pick Maguire on Sunday. I don't think he's a bad player, but I agree with Ricky. We spent £80 million on Harry Maguire. Well, you know whose fault it is. Ollie. We spent £80 million on Harry Maguire, and we sold Smalling for 15. Maguire was Smalling's replacement. Make that make sense. And Maguire's a good player. He's a good player. But tell me honestly, what's the difference between Harry Maguire and Chris Smalling? Smalling is quicker. Maguire's probably a better passer. In the air, they're probably the same. There are inches between the two. I would say I think Smalling's better. Some would say I think Maguire's better, but it's close. And Ollie thought it was a good idea to sell one for 15 million and sign the other for 80. There is not a £65 million difference between the two. Just there isn't. Southgate is a pony anyway, says Tumbleweed. Hopefully he'll get sacked in a couple of months. Get rid of him. Rubbish. Ehab thinks Maguire's better than Smalling. Well, maybe he is. But the gap's not big. That's the whole point. I never had a problem with Smalling. I always quite liked Smalling, to be honest. I don't think he was Van Dijk. I don't think he was Varane, but I thought he was all right. And it's not Harry Maguire's fault, but I'll keep saying it forever. Why did we sell Smalling to buy Maguire for 80 million? It's up there with Sanchez. It's up there with a 5-year contract for Phil Jones. It's not Harry's fault. It's just absolute stupidity. Absolute stupidity. Mario Franco says, I understand the height thing about Eric Ten Hag and Eredivisie. Maguire is a liability on the counter and Lindelof's not a hobbit. Look, I might have read the room wrong, Mario. I might have read this wrong. I know that this is causing a lot of conversation in the chat and I do like it. I 100% agree that Lindelof deserves to start, but I 100% think he will start Maguire. And I don't disagree with it. Lindelof deserves to start. We played away to Everton with Lindelof and Martinez and we won. Lindelof has done nothing wrong and he should start. But I'm telling you now, Maguire will start. And if he doesn't, I'll give 100 memberships away, which is going to cost me 500 quid. Which I'll happily do, but I think I will be right. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, I do want to talk about this. McFred. You don't get away with it. Kazakhstan or Aramiro. Ericsson and Casemiro or Casemiro and Ericsson. Oh my God. Chemical, thanks for the chat. Harry's our worst buy, says Mark. This for me, chart shows tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss the chart show. This to me is airwaves, a breath of fresh air. I, like many of you, despaired. I was in a pub just before Christmas last year, yeah? True story. I didn't do a watch along for Man United away to Norwich before Christmas last year. I don't remember who did. We did do a watch along. I think it was Kev and somebody else. I was in a pub in Birmingham City Centre and I was watching Norwich play Man United. I was getting pissed. It was crap. It was a crap game. And somebody came up to me and said, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I watch a lot of your content, your midfield shit. And I don't know whether he's being nice or trying to wind me up. And I went, do you want a pint? And I think he was trying to wind me up because he was quite shocked. And he went, do you agree with me then? And I went, yeah. I said, tell me a midfield in the Premier League that's worse than Scott McTominay and Fred. And he mentioned 2 or 3 teams. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. But I said Romu and Ward-Prowse are better and they're bottom half the table. Last season, our midfield 2 were in the bottom half. And that might be generous. That might be generous. Our midfield 2 last season was in the bottom half of the league, yeah? Eriksen and Casemiro in the top 6. Bada bing, bada boom, boom shakalak. And it pains me to say this, but why were Man United doing that? Why were we picking a midfield 2 that probably were relegation standard or a little bit above? Eriksen and Casemiro are 2 midfielders, and I know this for a fact, that big rival fans go, you know what, you've got a really good midfield there. Respect. You're never going to get praise, but there is respect. There's respect for Eriksen and Casemiro because they demand respect. Eriksen and Casemiro, whether they're at Real Madrid or Spurs or Brentford, they would get respect in the game of football. They are respected, and our midfield is respected, and it's the most important area in the pitch. I don't know why United wanted to play Bagel FC for so long, but it's worth mentioning. We've spent the last year with McFred, and we've now got Casemiro and Eriksen. Put some respect on their name because it's such a big improvement, and it makes such a big improvement to our team. Look, the back 5 has been brilliant. I know we've spent a lot of time talking about the attack, but we finally solved our midfield problem. Casemiro and Eriksen. Our midfield's been shit for years. Years! It's been crap. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't think we've had a good midfield, really, probably since 2007. Probably a little bit later than that. But I'm thinking Carrick and somebody else. In the last 10 years, our midfield's been shit. You know, I know we've tried people like Schneidlin and all sorts, but we finally got a midfield for the first time in a decade that's decent. And I'm not taking anything away from McTominay and Fred, but they are bang average. They are bench players, and you do need them. You need O'Shea. You need Fletcher. You need Phil Neville. You need those sort of players. But we were using them as first-team starters. And John O'Shea's a better player than Scott McTominay. And Phil Neville's a better player than Fred. I've seen those players, and they could come in and do a really good job. But you'd never start Phil Neville and John O'Shea for the whole season. We've finally got a couple of midfielders that are respected and good enough to be mixing it with good midfielders. And McTominay and Fred are now where they should be on the bench. I think we have a decision to make over Fred and McTominay in the long term. But for now, as bench players, they're very good. If Portugal wins with Ronaldo being the top scorer in the World Cup, what would be United stand? What would be United stand with Ronaldo? This is mortal. I don't know what that means. 67% of you say we are a better team with Ronaldo in it. And Colin says, hi Mark, what's the chances of you helping me getting a signature from Ronaldo? I own a bottle of Ronaldo wine. I'd love him to sign it. I don't know Ronaldo, Colin. I don't know Ronaldo. Is Ronaldo going to play against West Ham, says Harvey? I don't pick the team. Personally, I think that's the team that Ten Hag's going to pick. I don't pick the team. I don't know. Ty says, I can't believe we were going to get Rabiot. Yeah. What was that all about? What was that all about? What was that 2 weeks all about? This is why I think Murta and Arnold are crap. Like, everyone... You can be absolutely terrible at your job, but live off other people's success. This is Ten Hag's success. We remember, and the thing is, United could try and pretend it didn't happen if Murta, the Prat, hadn't got on a plane to Turin. What were you doing? You know, if you could grab hold of Murta now, if that pitch on my left was Murta. Hello, John. What were you doing in Turin? Well, I know it was a transfer window and I've been working from 6 till 10 o'clock every day. But I woke up on that day and I really just felt like getting on a plane and going to Turin. You were in Turin to get to Rabiot, weren't you? There is no evidence of that. He's still a Juventus player and we bought Casemiro and that's all down to me. Yeah, bye, John. Yeah, we had that week or two when we were trying to get Rabiot and Arnautovic, and then suddenly we bought Anthony and Casemiro. Make it make sense. Maguire was not only Ollie's making, Mourinho wanted him. The team needed a centre-back, says everyone plus you celebrated the buying of Maguire. Oh, shut up. Shut up, True Football. You're a bloody idiot, right? So when the Titanic left Southampton and everyone was going, this is the greatest ship in the world, did they know it was going to sink when it hit the iceberg? I can't stand people like you. I really cannot stand people like you. I know the video of when we got Maguire. And it's there. I haven't made it private. I know what I said. I've seen it. Doesn't make it not the biggest mistake we've ever made at centre-back. Like, just because you backed a signing of the club and thought it would be successful doesn't mean it's... I don't get that mentality, basically. So just because I thought Maguire was going to be a good signing, I have to say for the rest of my life, Maguire was a good... I tell you what, when I'm dead on my tombstone, should we put Maguire's the greatest signing we've ever made? You know what happened, mate? Eyes happened. People watched it and went, oh my fucking God, I'm wrong. That's what happened there. It happens all the time. I don't know many people who, when your club spends a lot of money on a player, goes, what a fucking waste of money he is. He's a bag of shit. Nobody does that. I tell you what, in 2 years' time, Anthony could be an absolute flop. And I will say he's a flop. And yet I'm sat here now going, I like him, he's exciting, I think he's going to work out. You know what it's called? Life. It's called life, mate. How many people get married and think they're marrying the dream of their life, and then a few years later they've gone and got cheated on, and they're a right two-faced twat. Oh, but when you got married, you said you're going to stay with them forever. Jog on with your stupid opinions. I can't be doing with that. I really can't be doing with that opinion. I think it's absolutely childish knobhead. Knobhead Central. Stopping at idiotic Parkway. We buy a player and you go, I think they're going to be successful. I think it's a good signing. You have to stay like that for 4 years. No. Life is a lesson. It's an education, and you change, especially in football. Your opinion can start to change very, very quickly. I think some people change their opinion too quickly. I don't like what people are saying about Sancho. I don't like what people have said about Rashford or Bruno. But over a period of time, your opinion can change. Maguire took United from worst defence in the top 6 before he joined to second best. Only Man City conceded fewer. Maguire's been a quality signing. Well, I don't agree with that. You see, you've gone the other way now, United 95. We've won no games this season with Maguire, and we've won... Why are we even doing this? In fact, you're pulling me in. Why are we even doing this? Surely every United player wants Maguire to play well. He's not Varane, he's not Martinez, he's a bang average English centre-back. But you know what? He might be able to do a job for us. He's not, and never will be, Ramos, Puyol, Piqué, Terry, Ferdinand, Vidic. He'll never be that. He's 29. He's never going to be a world-class centre-back. But he might just be a decent player that can do a job for us. And that's what he is. But he'll never be an £80 million centre-back, and that will always be the club's mistake. But hopefully, as a player, our player, he can do a job. We are a better team with Ronaldo in it, says Majek, because the fear factor he brings to other teams is worth it. Teams mark him, leave space for other players. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to go and have another drink. Life's too short. And Scott, you can have both of those. And True Football is a legend, says Chelsea. And I couldn't give a shit. I really couldn't give a shit. I've had a lovely show. And you won't ruin it. You can't ruin it. I can't be defeated. I'll never be defeated. Because I'm happy. Anyway, don't forget, True Classic t-shirts. I'm wearing one of them here. They actually are a really good fit. And the black one covers up all the bumps. So make sure you check it out. I forgot. I'm going to get in trouble. I forgot. 25% off with the code GOLDBRIDGE. Links in the description. Lovely fitted t-shirts. We all have this problem. Buying t-shirts that are nicely fitted. You can get them with True Classic. Scan the QR code with your phone. Go through the link in the description. 25% off with the code GOLDBRIDGE. I'll be back on the morning. Probably have a headache. I'll speak to you.